In the very heart of the forest stood an ancient house, about which legends were told. Local residents had long since learned to avoid it, going around it for many miles and not approaching even during the day. The forest seemed to envelop this house in a special, heavy silence, so dense that even the birds did not sing here. They said that lost souls were hidden in the walls of the house, imprisoned in eerie portraits. Their silent faces were forever imprinted on cracked canvases. When the young restorer Nikolai received an anonymous invitation to inspect the house, he could not refuse. The project was too tempting. They promised payment that would allow him not to worry about money for many years. The house, about which rumors were circulating and which was supposedly cut off from the world, promised not only new discoveries, but also, perhaps, the solution to many mystical secrets. As a man always drawn to the inexplicable, Nikolai decided to go there at dawn. When he approached the house, fog enveloped everything around, and the mansion itself looked like it came out of ancient legends. The time-worn walls, covered with moss and climbing plants, seemed to breathe, like a living creature waiting for the arrival of an uninvited guest. But he could not turn back. An inner voice pushed him forward. At the entrance, Nikolai found a large wooden door, topped with carvings depicting bizarre faces that did not resemble human ones. He barely touched the door handle. It gave in with unexpected ease, letting him into a dark hall. Inside, the house seemed like an endless labyrinth of corridors, ancient staircases and doors leading to incomprehensible rooms. Nikolai felt a cold that penetrated to the bones and a slight smell of mold, mixed with an elusive aroma of flowers, reminiscent of withered roses. Not a single sound was heard, except for the creaking of boards under his steps. As soon as he looked around, his eyes were caught by the portraits hanging on the walls of the corridor. They were old, with faded colors, but there was something inexplicably alive in each picture. Nikolai felt like the eyes of the people depicted on the canvases were watching him. The faces in the paintings, distorted with fear and pain, seemed to be trying to say something, but their silent mouths remained closed. In one of the halls, he found an old notebook. The pages were filled with scribbles. Some words were blurred or completely erased, but several phrases were still legible. Each face in the picture is someone's soul, stuck in eternity, asking for release. Suddenly, the darkness in the room became thicker, and Nikolai felt as if hundreds of eyes were watching him. But he was driven by something more than fear. The need to know the truth. He began to examine the paintings, finding that there was something strange about each of them. In one of them, he noticed a portrait of a girl with eyes full of tears, and in another, an old man with an expression of horror frozen on his face. It seemed to him that someone quietly whispered his name. He turned around, but there was no one around. Only in the mirror hanging in the corner of the room did he see a strange gleam. Not his reflection, but a vague silhouette flashing over his shoulder. A chill ran down his spine. He realized that the house was not just alive, it was eager to capture someone in its net. Sitting down on the cold floor, Nikolai felt that his strength was beginning to leave him, and soon he fell asleep, immersed in a deep sleep. And he saw a dream. Like a dark illusion, in front of him stood a woman in a black dress with empty eyes. She held his hand, quietly repeating, "They are all waiting for you." When he came to, he realized that the vision was not just a dream. He really felt her presence next to him. Frightened, but not giving up, he got up, trying to find a way out of the room. But the corridors, as if mocking him, each time led him to new rooms, and not a single door led outside. In one of the rooms, he found a mirror in which he unexpectedly saw his reflection, but something was wrong. A pale, tired face looked at him, but not his. The reflection seemed alien, and deep inside he felt how his consciousness weakened, giving way to something dark and unfamiliar. In the last second of despair, he took a step towards the mirror, trying to touch his reflection, but his hand only passed through the glass, as if through a thick fog. Another face appeared before him, now imprinted in the depths of the mirror. He realized that he had become the new face of this house, another silent soul, forever imprisoned in the abandoned corridors.